I didn't think towns like this existed. Ones towered over by trees and drowning in blues and greens. Ones that make your hairs stand up. Ones that have pathways through the forest that lead nowhere. Ones that have a bizarre history bubbling under its surface. I thought such places existed exclusively on television screens and in the pages of my angsty young adult novels. But as I watch it all grow in front of our car, the trees and the dull colors and the heavy clouds, I know that those creators got their inspiration from real places and not just their heads. I can't help but press my hand against the window and wish to be exploring. My eyes bounce from the dark pockets of moss and rocks and brush to the glimpses of water just beyond the forest. The chilled coast reminds me of those many little rocks. When we would visit Grandma over the summer, I would flock to the beach, but hate the pebbles. I never understood why it wasn't golden sand, as it is at home. Its emptiness did excite me, though. At home, I would never have the beach to myself. It's been so long. Mom said 10 years. Taking it all in now, I can't help but scold young me for not begging to come back. Yes, California is the dreamland, but not for me. Wren, look, my mom says from the front seat. My eyes flock to her window. Do you remember it at all? My grandmother's house sits between two monstrous fir trees. There's a rope hanging from one of the branches, and my mind clicks to when we built my swing together. I suppose the many years haven't tolerated it. Yeah, little. The backyard has the clothesline, right? The one with the white poles. I used to climb it. Oh, right, I remember that. She glances at me. You fell and scraped up your knees. The rest of the trip you complained about your knees and wouldn't go in the water. My mom turns onto the driveway and parks next to my grandma's car, an old Corolla. All right, she says. We made it. I sit back and breathe. Finally. You want to go in, say hi, then grab the stuff? She's dying to see you. We get out of the car and ring the doorbell. The brick flower bed along the house entertains me until the door opens. Oh my goodness, look at you. Her voice sounds like my childhood. The screen door releases her and suddenly her soft arms are wrapped around me. Hi, Grandma, I sing as she pulls back and studies my face. Her cool hands rest on my shoulders. Wrenley, you're so big now. Last time you were, what? This big. She holds out her hand near my chest. What happened? 10 years happened, Mom, my mother says and receives a tight hug as well. Aren't you too cold? Grandma asks. Come on. I can put on the fireplace. You used to love the fireplace, Wrenley. We sit in the living room as Grandma turns on the fireplace and grabs a plate of the lemon cookies I used to love. I take one and bite. Soft, thick, addictive, just as I remember. Are you ready for school, dear? Grandma asks and sits. I mean, yeah, it's all very sudden, but I'm sure I'll be just fine. That's good. You know it's the high school your mother went to. I look to my mom and she smiles. Oh yes, how can I forget Waindale High School? Why didn't you tell me? I ask. It's not like there's another school I could have gone to, kid. Grandma says, well, no, there's the private school a few minutes away, but you went to the high school just around the corner. You can walk to school, Wrenley. It's just a, 5-6 minute walk. Back home, I drive her 15 minutes to school, my mom tells Grandma. This is a nice change then, right? You don't have to leave early with me anymore, Wren. I smile and take another cookie. After getting our boxes and bags out of the car, I unpack my things in my new bedroom. My mother will be across the hall while Grandma's room is sat at the end. Being in a house with no men won't be anything new, but living with Grandma will surely have its differences compared to living with just Mom. I've already been told to be quiet past 10 o'clock when Grandma goes to bed. It's not anything catastrophic. Thankfully, as of now, I have my bedding and clothes and necessities such as toiletries and school supplies. Everything else will be arriving next week. When I finish stuffing pillows into my pillowcases, I look out the window as it starts to rain. I'll have to get rain boots and an umbrella, things I've never had before. It's crazy thinking that on Monday I'll be at a whole new school with new people and teachers and rules. There's something refreshing about it, though. They're changes I'm welcoming with open arms. It's not like I left much in California anyway. A friend or two at most. Charisma isn't something I have in abundance. Instead, I specialize in being quiet and getting lost in my thoughts. My mom says it's because I'm all her and none of my dad. Don't worry, I'm not damaged. Dad left when I was just a baby. It's like getting my ears pierced as an infant. There's no pain that I can remember. The next morning, I wake up to my grandma watching TV as she drinks her coffee. Old game shows play on repeat. "Where's Mom?" I ask. "Oh, she's just on the porch. She's on the computer, working on her writing." I nod and slip outside. I find my mom sitting under a blanket with her laptop on her lap. There's a mug of coffee on the wicker table in front of her, steaming into the crisp morning air. "Hi," I say. She peers up and pats the spot beside her on the patio furniture. I sit and she shares her blanket. "Are you working on the novel?" "Yeah," she says. "Being in Waindale with the trees and the creepiness, it's helping." My mom has been writing her second book for a few months while working a regular office job. Now that we've moved, she's left the office job and is focusing primarily on her novel. It makes for plenty of silent mornings and evenings, but I suppose I have Grandma to talk to now. "I think I'm going to go for a walk. Explore this town," I say. "Sure, just be careful. Stick to the paths because you can get lost, trust me. And don't go too far. I'll be here with Grandma." I quickly get dressed in warm clothes. My old hoodie and a pair of jeans is the best I can do for now. After assuring Grandma that I'll eat when I get back, I slip on my shoes and hope that it doesn't start to rain. "Here, Wrenley." I turn and see Granda with an umbrella. "Take this just in case, okay?" "Okay, thanks." It's a little cold and the ground is damp, but nothing ugly enough to stop me. I can finally walk through these giant trees and hopefully check out the beach as well. Everything is a little wet. The concrete sidewalk is cracked and lush with weeds, and if I had rain boots, I definitely wouldn't be avoiding the puddles. A car will drive by every now and then, but such sounds grow distant as I turn onto one of the forest trails. The ground is spongy, sinking underneath my feet. My eyes roam over the protruding roots, some large enough to sit on. The people that live here must be tired of the rain and the cold and the darkness, but the smile that hit my face in the car yesterday hasn't left. My fingers press into the moss that coats an ancient tree as I near the water. I can see speckles of deep blue through the green, and thankfully the path is taking me there. Just as the trees begin to thin out, something to my right catches my attention. Something coated in fur. Leaving the path only a little, I step over roots and weave through bushes as I hear the delicate noises of what I'm hoping is a rabbit. I catch sight of the gray thing again and move slower. It has to be a rabbit. The ground seems to get wetter the further I venture into the trees. Just as I am about to give up, the little rabbit shows itself down a dip in the forest. The path is just behind me, so I attempt to hike down the dip but end up sliding on my butt. My jeans soak up the dew and dirt as I let out a yelp. I mutter a few curses on the forest floor and try to wipe the dirt from my hands onto tree bark. Of course, the rabbit is nowhere in sight. "Just perfect," I murmur and rub my hands on my swamped pants. The mud weighs me down and makes my face scrunch up in disgust. I never had to deal with anything like this in California. As I turn to somehow get up the hill, a noise makes my heart jolt. I look back and try to assume that it's the rabbit, but the twisted branches and gray clouds are making it hard. The sound comes again like snapping twigs and rustling bushes and howling winds all in one. I suck in a sharp breath as a dark thing lurks in the distance, only visible for a second. Spinning around, I claw my way up the hill and dash for the path. My shoes seem to cake on more and more mud the more steps I take. I try to kick it off, but it's like cement. The dark thing flashes in the distance again, in front of me. My throat dries. I run in the direction of the road. When the sound of cars reaches my ears, a spark of hope ignites. I carry on through the trees and soon hop over the wooden fence and trample onto the sidewalk. Scraping off the dirt from my shoe on the curb, once I'm free, I hurry home. The clouds break and sunlight seeps through. In a few minutes, I'm charging up the porch steps and crashing into the kitchen where my mom and Grandma are. They're up at the sight of me. "There was a bear," I shout and frantically shed my layers. "What?" My mother leaves the table and comes to me. "A bear? Where?" "I was walking on the path to the beach and there was this big dark thing. I think it was a black bear. Are there black bears?" My grandma, flushed, says, "Why? There are black bears here." I should call the town hall. Usually they don't get so close. They need to put out a warning. Did it get close to you? My mom asks. It was close enough to know that I'm there. I think it was stalking me. It was behind me, then in front of me. I can feel the sweat on my face. I ran back to the street, then here. I could have died out there. My grandma grabs the phone and heads into the other room to report the sighting. I mean, thank God you're okay. They need to be aware of such things. There could be other people out there with that bear around. I take a breath. I need to shower. I fell in the mud. Okay, give me your clothes. Don't put them on the floor. Hopefully they have a warning out in a few minutes. Just let's be cautious from now on, okay? I nod and hug her before really calming down in my steaming shower. As I scrub the dirt from under my nails, I can't help but contemplate all the possible outcomes of my stupidity. I have a new rule to live by. Stay on the trail. Things lurk in the darkness. I walk to Waindale High School on Monday morning. Well, I briskly walk and avoid the trees at all costs. The bear warning was put out, but Grandma said this morning that there wasn't another sighting. It must have run off, is her reasoning. Waindale High School seems like an okay place to be. The outside is wet-looking like everything else, but like most high schools is a bunch of bricks and doors and windows and cars. The people in the front office are nice and walk me to my first class. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid every time I enter a classroom and say that I'm new. I suppose this is what happens when you change schools when the year has already begun. Some students are kind enough to introduce themselves, but most are too preoccupied with their own lives to notice my existence, which is just fine with me. It's hard coming up with things to say. At lunchtime, a girl with red hair hurries up to me and grabs my arm. I spill a sound of confusion as she takes me to a table. Gripping the strap of my bag, I stand awkwardly when she releases me. Hi, I'm Vivian, but most people call me Viv. I saw you standing over there alone, so I thought I would invite you to my table since you're new. How do you know? Your name is Wrenley, right? Right? Word travels fast around here. That's a pretty name, though. Please sit. The others should be coming soon. I glance back and make another noise of confusion. Vivian takes it upon herself to grab my hand and pull me down. You don't have to be shy, really. I hope we can be friends. I sit and place my bag on the table. Sorry, you're very straightforward. I know. Some people like it, others don't. Does it bother you? Oh, no. I'm just surprised. Her pale skin looks so delicate under her pretty blouse. Vivian smiles, and something about it makes my heart warm. So, how are you acclimating to the weather? I actually like it. It's really different than what I'm used to. Oh, she says and turns to a boy who's settling down at the table. His eyes don't leave me. Wrenley, this is my friend Eli. Eli smiles a little, nods his head, then glares at Vivian. My insides grow heavy and I wonder if I should excuse myself. What are you doing, Viv? He asks slowly. She turns away from him. So, Wrenley, do you play any sports, or are you more of a club person? I'm in the student body government as the secretary. We already had our elections for the year, though. I would suggest you join if there were still spots. Oh, that's okay. It's not really my thing. Her head tilts. So what is your thing? I like to read and watch TV. Oh, well, that's cute. A girl sits down beside Eli and seems shocked by my presence as well. Vivian perks up. Wrenley, this is my other friend, Alara. Eli and Alara are together. Isn't that cute that their names are so similar? Hi, Wrenley, Alara says, then turns to Eli. They face away from us as they talk. Beginning to feel unwelcome, I grip my bag. It was nice meeting you guys. I actually have to go to the office about schedule stuff. Vivian frowns. Oh, okay, we'll see you later then? Yeah, see you guys later. As I walk to the cafeteria doors, I peer back and watch them argue. Relief washes over me in the hallway, although I have to hide somewhere so they don't see me. Outside, there is an area with picnic tables. I take a seat even though most people are inside. My eyes are occupied by the trees anyway. The clouds aren't as dark as yesterday, so I don't have to worry about it raining when I walk home. The rest of lunch, I think about the bizarre conversation with Vivian and how her friends didn't seem to want me there. If I could, I would walk home now. When school is over, I head back and Grandma asks about my first day. It was okay. People were nice, I say. That's good. What about your classes? Do you like them? I shrug. Yeah, they're okay too. The teachers are nice. The work doesn't seem too hard. Oh, I got a call. There still aren't any other sightings. I think it went home, right? At least it's gone. I nod. Yeah, at least it's gone. That night I have the strangest dream. I'm laying on the cold, damp ground without any clothes on, buried deep in the forest at night. Laying on my side, I curl up into a ball and shake as noises become louder and louder. Leaves and dirt cling to my body, and I stay still, hearing something heavy approaching. Holding my breath, the dark thing towers over me, its electric eyes burning my skin. I squeeze my eyes shut. The dark thing licks from my hip to my shoulder, the streak of warmth jarring me awake. I can't fall back asleep. The night pours through my window and watches me. In the morning, my ghost looks back at me in the mirror, her pale skin and gray eyes startling me. Grandma made waffles and gives me an extra one, believing my sickliness to be from a lack of food. I pass my mom on the porch as I leave. This seems to be her new spot. Back home, it was the recliner in our living room. It rains on my way to school. I close my umbrella before entering the building. Just as I look up, Vivian appears. I step back as my hand slaps my chest. Oh, Vivian, hi. You scared me. Was she waiting for me? Sorry, I just saw you come in. Thought I would say hi. I realized that I may have scared you away yesterday, so I wanted to apologize if I came on too strong. I clear my hair from my face and say, no, it's okay. At least I can say I know someone here. She smiles. Great. Actually, I should tell you that my mother used to be friends with your mother. That's why I was so eager to meet you. They were close in high school. Wow, I didn't know. She hasn't told me about her old friends, so... what's your last name? I'll tell her when I get home. It's Smith. My mom's name is Talisa, but she goes by Tali. Your mom would know her by Tali. Okay, well, I'll let her know. When the day is over and I'm turning onto Grandma's property, I see my mom outside. Have you been there all day? I call to her. I'm on a roll, kid, she says while finishing up a sentence or two. I climb the steps and sit across from her. Tali Smith. She immediately looks up at me. What? What did you say? I'm friends with Tali Smith's daughter, I guess. My mom sets down her laptop and runs a hand through her hair. Oh my God, Tali Smith, she's still here? In Waindale? I guess so. Her daughter found me at school and told me. How would she know who you are? I haven't talked to Tali since I left, long before you were born. I shrug. Don't know. Just thought you would be interested. Yeah, definitely. Maybe I should reach out to her. I wonder if she's still on Moncton. Let me go ask Grandma. She gets up and disappears inside. Alone, I turn around and look over the rail. With my arms resting on top of it, I watch the empty street. There's no one across it, no house or anything, just an overgrown lot and the forest behind it. I think about my dream and that dark thing that haunts me. When I expected it to tear me apart, it licked me, which is less frightening and more puzzling. It is also weird, very weird. Thinking about the sensation makes my limbs twitch. Tonight, when I've finished getting ready for bed, I dance around the idea of sleeping and wander my dark bedroom. I settle at the window and stare out into the night until it lightens up. My mind plays tricks with me and paints an image of the dark thing against the forest. My eyes squeeze shut, shoot open, and it's gone. When it starts to come back, I repeat, squeeze shut, shoot open, it's gone. Squeeze shut, shoot open, it's gone. Then the painting becomes more detailed, limbs like a large dog, electric yellow eyes, its mouth starts to open, and I squeeze my eyes shut. Open them, it's there. Squeeze shut, open. Why won't it leave? White teeth shaped like a monster's appear, and I duck under my window. I reach up and yank the curtains closed. Not daring to look again, I crawl into bed and decide to sleep. Tossing and turning results in an hour or two of shut-eye here and there before the sun begins to rise. No, 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 I whisper to myself. Sleep, Wren, sleep. An hour later, my alarm sounds. Grandma gives me an extra bowl of cereal. What's going on with you? She asks. I told you. I'm having a hard time sleeping. My mom comes out from the bathroom and sits across from me at the table with her coffee and laptop ready to go. Still not sleeping? I shake my head. Maybe we can get you melatonin or something, she suggests. Grandma nods in agreement. Here, I'll give you money and you can stop on your way from school. She gets up and retrieves her purse, handing me a $20 bill. There's a drugstore down the street from the school on the corner, okay? After school, I make my way down the street, further than I've ever been. The drugstore is there, and on the third corner is a gas station. The fourth is a diner. I cross the street and enter the building, my $20 tucked in my pocket. It's smaller than the regular CVS or Walgreens that I'm used to, but I find the vitamin section, and luckily there are bottles of melatonin. I take one, buy it, keep the change, and cross the second street, the third, then enter the diner. A man is sat at the bar while an elderly couple is comfortable in a booth. I sit down in a booth myself and place my bag beside me. A woman with thin, blonde hair hands me a menu. I order a strawberry milkshake. As I sip and work on homework, 3 guys around my age come through the door. They're dressed in the same outfit, and I realize that they must be from the private school. All 3 sit at the bar and order sodas and burgers and fries. When one glances my way, I swiftly turn back and sip the rest of my shake. I pack up my stuff and head home, catching a glimpse of the school's crest on their shirts. A wolf? I take 2 melatonin gummies before climbing into bed. As usual, it takes a few hours for me to fall asleep, but once I am, I'm suddenly awake again. Stumbling, I grab at a near tree and stabilize myself. My vision is a little blurry, but it's night again, and I can assume what's coming. Not wanting to face the dark thing, I turn and hurry toward what must be salvation. An owl coos above me, and crickets sing below me, and the distant sound of pounding steps grows from behind. Roots pull up from the ground and tangle around my ankles. I yank my feet free and tread on. When I grab onto trees, the bark sticks to my hands. Dirt is like glue caked on my feet. The air weighs down on me. The pounding steps are louder, closer, just behind me. I fall to the ground and cry out in frustration. Everything is holding me down. Everything is on its side. Its breathing sounds in my ear. Restless, I try to jerk my limbs free and heave forward, but I'm not strong enough. Just when I expect its teeth to dig into my neck, a hand touches my back. I wake suddenly, feeling the thing's touch lingering on my skin. It was a human hand. Someone touched me. Grandma takes one look at me in the morning and shakes her head. "You still look tired, dear." I think the melatonin helped a little. Maybe I just have to get used to sleeping here. She gives me an extra pancake, but I can't eat it. I feel sick. At school, Vivian asks me to sit with them at lunch again. When the time comes around, I go back and forth in my mind, but ultimately decide to be nice to Vivian. Unlike last time, there's another person there. I walk up to the table and Vivian turns right away. "Wrenley, sit." I settle down and give everyone a small smile, not wanting to look too ambitious. The stranger, a girl with black hair, looks to Vivian, then Eli, then Alara. "You've got to be kidding me," she says, clearly upset. "Don't look at us," Eli says. Vivian matches the girl's stare and mouths something I can't make out. "Wrenley, this is Imogen." "Hi," I say. Imogen rolls her eyes and leaves the table. Feeling the anxiety swallow me whole, I turn to Vivian. "Don't worry about her," she says. "She's just in a bad mood. Oh, you know what? You should come with us after school. We're going to the private school just up the way to meet some other people." "No, Viv?" Eli interrupts. "You're going too far." "I'm sorry, Wrenley. You seem like a nice girl, but Viv is overstepping a boundary." "It's fine, really," I say before Vivian starts an argument. "I'm actually going somewhere with my mom." My walk home feels longer today. My feet drag along the sidewalk as my body reaches a new level of exhaustion. I can't help but try to take a nap when I get back, but my mind won't shut off. At this point, it's torture. I can't sleep, and when I do, I'm tormented with nightmares. My body can't take it anymore. I lied. I have no plans with my mom, and I can't help but wonder what Vivian's plans were. They know people that go to the private school, the school with the wolf crest. I'm sure they were meeting up and going somewhere together. Eli said she was crossing a boundary by inviting me. I wonder what boundary that is. Everyone here is much different than the people back home. Teens my age only cared about their looks and the opposite gender and social media, while teens here are wrapped up in other things, it seems. I shouldn't care what they're doing without me, but I'm no perfect person. Nighttime comes again, and I can't bear it. I double my dose of melatonin and take a nice bath before bed. Grandma sprays a lavender mist in my room after telling me that it helps her sleep. My mom gets me a glass of water and even tucks me in. "Just don't think about it, Wren. Don't think about anything, okay?" she says softly before shutting my light and leaving the door cracked open. Don't think about anything. I didn't think my thoughts were the problem. The issue is my body. Something is wrong with it. After hours of restlessness, I spring from my bed and storm out the front door. My bare feet hate the cold ground but continue on toward the trees. The dark thing is in there. Maybe this is what it wants. Rain sprinkles down as I step over tree roots and around rocks. The frigid air slips up my shirt and rubs its icy hands all over my skin. There's a cozy spot on the ground where moss has grown like a bed just for me. I lay down on it and shut my eyes, finally feeling at peace. As my body winds down and as my eyes are too heavy to open, someone lifts me up and carries me to dreamland. I grip at their warmth and bury myself in their essence. I wake in my bed as the sun shines through the closed curtains. I stretch out like a cat and roll over. My alarm is set to ring in a few minutes. I slept through the night. Finally, I've slept, and my dream was hardly a nightmare at all. When my grandma sees me, she smiles. The weekend is slow, but my nights have been filled with the best nights of sleep I've ever had. The rest are things are delivered a few days early, so I help bring it all inside. Some stuff is stored in the garage, but I take what I need to my bedroom to unpack. All of my little nothings are organized around my room. My mom helps me carry in my desk. There's just enough room for it. I set up my desk lamp, and my books are slid into the shelves. My computer is placed right in the center of the table, and I drop my beanbag chair in the corner of the room. It's finally starting to feel like my own space. I fill my suitcases with summer clothes and push them under the bed, but feel something in the way. Pulling it back out, I lift the bed skirt and see an article of clothing. I reach under and grab it. Holding it up, the first thing my eyes notice is the wolf crest on the upper left. It's a shirt, part of the uniform for that private school. I smell it and smell it again. It drops to the floor as my hands cover my face. Something isn't right. Why is it here? Before leaving my bedroom, I hide it under my pillow, not willing to get rid of it. At school on Monday, I sit with Vivian and her friends again. The conversation feels more regulated than usual as she asks about my interests and where I'm from. I don't hear much about her, though, and even less about her friends. Instead of walking straight home, I walk up the street, past the drugstore, and to the private school. This is my attempt at sleuthing. I'm not sure how that shirt got under my bed, and I'm not sure what I'm going to figure out by being here, but there's no point in turning back now. Walking through the parking lot, I avoid students as they leave for the day. No one seems to notice me as they talk to one another in their polo shirts and navy sweaters. I sneak around the building and find a track surrounding a field along with tennis courts. So far, the only thing I've discovered is that this place is officially called Waindale Academy. It isn't anything groundbreaking. On my way out, I catch a hint of something in the air. That smell. The one from the shirt. I wonder if they all smell like this. As I walk by the diner, I notice Vivian going inside with Eli, Alara, and Imogen. They must be meeting with their private school friends again. No wonder the conversation was so structured today. Maybe Vivian got in trouble for inviting me. The house is empty when I get home. Mom and Grandma must have left to get groceries as they mentioned this morning. I don't like being here alone. The eeriness of the woods lately has my mind wandering. Waindale isn't the same. It's changed since I was a child, and I'm not sure why. There must be a difference between visiting this town and living in it. Things lurk in the darkness and the people aren't normal. Why does Vivian reach out to me then keep me behind a wall? Something is going on with her and her friends and those private school students. I can't help but think it's drugs. Maybe they all meet up and go into the woods and do whatever drugs they do. It would explain why I'm not supposed to know. I drop my school bag on my bed and lift up my pillow. The white polo shirt and its school crest is still there, the scent diffusing off of it. The inside of Waindale Academy might smell like this, a dark and woodsy scent that reminds me of men's cologne. I need to get inside that school. The only issue is how. Everyone wears the same thing, and I may be able to disguise myself with this shirt, but that's only half of the uniform. Looking at the tag, I learn that it's a men's large. That won't help my disguise, but tells me more about its owner. There's no reason Grandma would have this shirt, so someone must have left it here, someone who wears a men's large. I swallow. Was some guy in my bedroom? I catch Vivian at school the next day as she makes her way down the hall. She seems surprised to see me. Wrenley, hi, how are you? I'm fine. I was just wondering about the private school. I found... Vivian stops me. Sorry, really, but I wouldn't know. Find me at lunch, though. You know our table. She turns and walks away, her head falling down as her eyes watch the floor. I walk to the diner after school and sit in the same booth as last time. When the familiar woman comes by with a menu for me, I ask, is there a chance that you're hiring? Her eyebrows rise. You looking for a job? I nod, and she shrugs. I can ask Paul. He's just in the back. When I get home, I find my mom as she's going through boxed things in her bedroom. Before she can ask about school, I say, "IGOB, a job?" "Where?" "At the diner across from the drugstore." She sits down on her bed. I mean, okay, I didn't know you wanted to get a job. It doesn't conflict with school, right? No. They were very accommodating to my schedule. You know, weekends, after school some days, nothing excessive. Okay. And what will you be doing? I smile. I'm a waitress, and before you say it, Laura's going to train me. Laura? She questions. Laura is the waitress there. She said she's happy to have more help around since Pat left. My mom nods and clasps her hands together. It's all right with me. Just remember that school's your priority, okay? Feeling more devious than I ever have, I promise to keep school as my number one. Many things will hopefully be uncovered through my new job. It seems the diner is somewhat of a town favorite. Between the private school students and Vivian and her friends, Waindale is about to have its secrets revealed. Monday after school, I start my first shift. I shadow Laura the entire time and leave disappointed when Vivian and her friends don't come in, let alone anyone from the private school. The next day is my only chance before waiting until my weekend shifts, so I nearly run to the diner after the bell rings. Laura sends me on my own to a few customers. Hi, welcome in, I say in my brave voice as I hand the menu. Can I get you started with anything to drink? As Laura teaches me how to make coffee again, I hear the door chime. Peering over my shoulder, I watch Vivian and Imogen walk in. A gasp escapes me and Laura turns as well. What is it? She asks. I know them. Okay, we'll give them some menus, she says, releasing me. I snatch 2 laminated menus and hurry around the bar. My face is toned down to half of the excitement as I approach the booth. Imogen sees me coming and immediately says something to Vivian. Vivian turns my way. Hi, guys, I say, and place down the menus. Wrenley? What are you doing here? Vivian asks quickly. I got a job here. I'm a waitress. Do you guys come here a lot? Vivian peers through the blinds out into the small parking lot before saying, You work here now? Well, we stopped in to grab a napkin. Your nose was running, right, Imogen? Imogen grabs a few napkins from the metal dispenser on the table and stuffs them in her pocket. Sorry, we aren't staying. Eli and Alara are waiting for us, Vivian hurriedly explains. I watch as they get up. We'll see you at school, though. Good luck with the job. And just like that, the 2 girls are slipping out the door and out of my grasp. I take the 2 menus back and Laura says, Are they supposed to be your friends? I don't know, I murmur. The door chimes again and I perk up, thinking that they may have come back in. Instead, a boy and girl in those Waindale Academy uniforms enter and sit at the bar together. I look over their uniforms before tending to them. Back at home, I watch Grandma as she looks through her closet. One moment, dear. They're in here somewhere. Oh, is this what you mean? She holds up a pair of brown chino pants. Yeah, that will work fine. They might be a little big. Here, let me get you a belt. I hold them up to my waist and hope that a belt works. Thanks again, Grandma. I just hope they fit for your presentation. That's a fun idea. You have to dress like President Kennedy. I'm sure the kids will love it. The next morning passes slowly, and the afternoon even slower. Once my teacher lets us leave for the day, instead of heading to the doors, I find a bathroom. In the stall, I change into my grandma's chino pants and the academy shirt. The polo is too baggy, so I tie it back and slip on my mother's navy sweater over top. I leave through the back door of the school as to not grab too much attention. When I reach the academy, I look to the ground and hold my school bag in front of my disguise. A few people pass me on my way toward the main doors. They merely glance my way, if anything. As I had hoped, the inside of the school begins as a large hallway, dim and pretty much empty. I take it all in. There's a bulletin board on the wall and I hurry to it. Rugby game schedule, tennis club flyer, a notice for some assembly next week. The air doesn't even smell like the shirt. What am I doing? I haven't seen you around before. My heart skips a beat and I turn toward the voice. A guy in the school uniform walks up to me and eyes my disguise. He doesn't seem fooled. I was just looking for the game schedule, I mutter, then subtly rush to the doors. You know you can't be here, right? He says, following me. Just then the smell comes back, drifting through the air as if a breeze flows through these halls. I spin around, not caring about the guy anymore. He says something swiftly under his breath before grabbing my arm. Hey! I shout and look to him. Let go of me! You can't be here, he says again, this time louder. The guy forces me out the main doors, and just before they close, I catch a glimpse of someone turning into the hallway. In a split second, the wooden door shuts in my face and a locking sound prods me. A breath escapes my lips and I face the parking lot. Do you ever notice weird things about the people here? I ask my mom and Grandma as we sit down for dinner. What do you mean, dear? Grandma asks. It's just the private school students seem kind of rude. My mom sighs. Don't worry about them. They've always been like that. Why? They're in their little bubbles of money and uniforms and tennis and they just can't be bothered, kid. It doesn't surprise me that they're still the same after all these years. When I went to school here, none of them talked to us public school kids. My brows furrow. But I know people at my school who are friends with some of them. They won't let me meet them or something. My mom sets down her fork. Maybe you need to find better friends, Wren. I agree, says Grandma. There are much nicer kids. What about Tolly's daughter? Are you still talking to her? She's one of them, I explain. My mom's face falls. Before bed, I take the Waindale Academy shirt and throw it in the garbage outside. I don't want to think about them anymore. I don't want to care. They can hang out without me and play tennis and smell really good and do whatever. If Vivian and Imogen and the rest of them want to keep me as a so-called friend, but can't treat me like one, then I'm over it. At least I have my job at the diner to keep me busy now that I'm back to being alone. This night is terrible, sleepless, frustrating. I took melatonin, but it stopped working. For hours I kick covers off, pull them on, switch my pillow, drink a glass of water, go to the bathroom, sweat through my pajamas, feel my stomach flip upside down. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I give up. Instead, I take a shower and finish homework. The sun rises through the windows as I sit at the table in the kitchen. Everything turns to a golden hue, and it entrances me enough to lure me outside. I walk out onto the porch with a blanket wrapped around my shoulders, seeing the grass wet with dew. I look out at the empty lot across the street and watch the tall grass wave back and forth. Something in the trees catches my attention. I squint between the trucks where something large seems to be. With my slippers on, I walk down the steps and to the edge of the road. The large thing becomes a dark thing, and its yellow eyes flash at me before sinking back. My chest begins to ache. Without thinking, I run across the street and onto the lot. I push through the grass as it itches my bare legs. There's a sense of determination building inside of me, taking over my conscience. Entering the trees, I frantically look around, dirtying my slippers on the forest floor. Hello? I call, unaware of what may answer. Hello? The forest is still. No rustling bushes or crunching leaves. I spin slowly in a circle and scan everything or absolutely anything. The smell, it lingers in the air. The smell from the Waindale Academy uniform. It clouds in my head and makes me turn back. I walk mindlessly through the tall grass, across the road, and into the house. As I close the front door and fall back against it, Grandma appears from the hall. Wrenley, she questions. What are you doing? There's something out there, Grandma, I mumble. Something is watching me. She leads me into the kitchen. Have you slept at all? You look exhausted, dear. I shake my head. I can't sleep. Again, but it was going so well. Something is out there. The dark thing. The dark thing is watching me. Grandma says, that's it. You're going back to bed. I have school. I'll explain to your mother. This is getting ridiculous. You just go back in bed and try to fall asleep, all right? I'll handle things from here. Saturday, I'm at the diner. Laura handles the tables while I deal with the bar. It's busier than it is on weekdays, which distracts me from how tired I am. I'll have a cup of coffee every few hours just to keep me on my feet. There have been a few close calls when it comes to spilling drinks or dropping plates, but somehow I've managed to keep the food off the floor. Toward the end of my shift, as the lunch rush dies down, Vivian Smith comes through the door. My shoulders drop, as does my stomach. But it's been doing that a lot lately. "Wrenley," she says and comes to the bar. "I'm busy." She looks around at the few occupied tables before her eyes return to me. "I won't be long. I just came to tell you that you can't go to the academy, okay?" My lips part. "What? You just can't, okay? Just promise me you won't." "What is this about? How do you even know I went there?" Vivian simply watches me for a moment. "I want to tell you, I really do, but it's not my place." "Tell me what? Why can I be around you guys only at school? Why can't I go to the academy?" "You know what? Fine. Don't tell me your little secrets, but please just leave me alone." "Wrenley, I have to get back to work." My school bag slips off my shoulder as I walk to school on Monday morning. I haul it back up and rub my puffy eyes. My surroundings blur, then slowly straighten back up, nearly making me dizzy. A car passes by then, so very loud as its tires push against the worn-down road. I can't think right now. When I try, my head starts to pound. I wander into the main school building and flinch at the sound of slamming lockers and blaring voices. The day passes slowly. At lunch, I spot Vivian and her friends. She looks as if she wants to call my name and talk things over, but before she can, I turn and walk in the other direction. I meant it when I said I was over them. Even back home, where friendships seemed so shallow and meaningless, the few friends I had treated me better. At least they tried to include me. My mom doesn't know what to do about my sleeping habits, but it's not just that now my appetite has vanished as well. Grandma can't get away with giving me extra waffles anymore, not when I can barely finish the first one. My grades are dropping as I constantly forget about homework, and most days if I'm not at school I'll be struggling at the diner. And Laura can only be so forgiving. I trudge home with aching legs. The only good thing about today is that the weather has been kind. My first 2 weeks of being in Waindale consisted of rain and clouds and more rain, but today the clouds are white and the sun shines through them. I glance up at the sky for the few seconds I can. When my eyes come back down, the forest beside me looks dark and the creature in it stares. I freeze in place. My throat clogs up. The giant brown wolf watches me. Utterly shocked, I look over its thick, warm-toned fur and vicious paws. It moves slightly, and suddenly I know it is not a statue. Clenching my jaw, I steadily turn away and carefully take a step, then another and another. I can feel its eyes on me, taking in my limbs that it can so easily tear apart. My chest vibrates as I slowly make my way down the sidewalk, ready for it to pounce at any moment. Curse words repeat in my head. I hesitantly look around for other people or a passing car, but I'm alone. My eyes begin to water as the intense fear settles in the pit of my stomach. Eventually, I'm walking onto Grandma's property and up the porch steps. I open the door and rely completely on muscle memory to set down my bag, take off my shoes, and enter the kitchen. Grandma is there, bent over large bowls, making something. She says, "Wrenley, how was school? Feeling any better?" When I don't answer promptly, she turns. "Wrenley, dear, is everything all right?" My eyes rise from the tiles and land on her worried face. "I think I'm going to take a nap." My mom drives me to school the next day. When she asks why, I tell her it's because I don't feel well enough to walk, which isn't really a lie. In the car, she brings up the option of seeing a doctor. If my lack of sleep and other issues are causing this much trouble, she doesn't feel right just waiting to see if it gets better. My mother is worried that there may be an underlying cause. When I walk into school, before I can even take 3 steps, Vivian appears in front of me. I halt and suck in a breath. When my lips part, ready to mutter whatever words come to mind so I can ditch, she says, "I know what you saw, Wrenley." Vivian takes my hand and leads me to a quiet corner down a quiet hallway. I'm going to get into so much trouble for this. I may as well be digging my own grave. "What's going on?" She stops and turns to me. "You saw a wolf in the forest yesterday. It was watching you, right?" I nod, wrapping my arms around my body. "Did you tell anyone?" I thought I was just seeing things. I haven't been sleeping much lately. I thought I was hallucinating or something, but you're saying that it was really there? And how do you... Vivian's face scrunches before she says, "That was me." I stare at her. What? Sorry, I don't get it. That was me. I was the wolf. How were you the wolf? I ask, not believing a word she's saying. I didn't take Vivian for the daydreaming fantasy I'm special type. I hope you understand the consequences for what I'm doing, she dramatizes. Me and Imogen and Eli, we're not human. Not really. Well, sometimes, most of the time actually, we have this ability to shift into something else. Are you following? I grip my sweater and say nothing at all. Well, we shift into wolves. Big wolves, she says, making me reconsider my decision to follow her. What you saw yesterday was me in my shifted form. I open my mouth and take in a breath and say, "So you guys pretend to be werewolves is what you're saying?" Vivian shakes her head and takes my hands in hers. "No, Wrenley, we don't pretend. We are werewolves, real-life werewolves. What I saw yesterday was a wolf. What I'm seeing now is you, a human. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want, but you don't have to talk to me like I still believe in Santa Claus." "I thought this would be easy for some reason," she mumbles. "You want me to prove it? Is that what this is all leading to? You want me to shift?" It's fine, Vivian. I have to go to class anyway." She rolls her eyes and grabs me again, pulling me further into the school. "Let's just make this quick," she mutters as a door appears at the end of a hall. Feeling uncomfortable, but curious at the same time, I go along with it and wonder what in the hell Vivian is going to do. Would it be rude if I laugh? What if I can't control it? At least I'm not thinking about how tired I am. She pushes the door open and takes me outside. We walk toward the trees in silence. Once we're buried deep enough, Vivian spins around and motions for me to back up. "I have to take off my clothes," she says. "Is that really necessary?" "You don't have to do this," I tell her, again hoping I don't let a laugh slip. When she says nothing, I sigh and turn around. I hear her moving and dropping what is supposedly her clothes to the ground. "Okay," she says. "I'm going to shift now. Just don't scream." My brows raise. Suddenly an orchestra of bizarre sounds compels me to turn around, and when I do, my neck cranks up. Looking down at me is the face of a wolf. Not even a second later, a scream bursts from my throat, and I tumble backward, falling to my butt. I scream again and scramble against the dirt and pine needles. The wolf steps forward, making me flinch. "Vivian!" I shout. "Vivian, help!" The wolf comes closer and my eyes squeeze shut. When teeth aren't puncturing my flesh or ripping my head off, I open them. Vivian is standing before me with her hands hardly keeping her decent. A weird noise leaves me as I scoot back again and clamber to my feet. What the hell? "I told you I was a werewolf, and I told you not to scream." Oh my God, I frantically walk around and pick up my school bag from the ground. That didn't just happen. Vivian swiftly dresses herself while trying to calm me down. "This isn't real. This is a dream. I'm dreaming and you didn't really just become a wolf. None of this is actually happening." "It's actually happening? Wrenley, no, that's impossible. I just showed you that it is." I look straight at her. "How did you do it? What's the big trick?" "Trick?" she gapes. "There's no trick. I'm a werewolf. Do you want me to do it again?" I shake my head and squeeze my bag against my chest. "Why is this happening? Why did you do that?" "Because you were going to find out sooner or later." "Why?" I ask, wanting to know everything and absolutely nothing. Part of me is attempting to digest this, but the other part is begging to escape home to California. Vivian struggles to answer. "You just can't tell anyone that you know, okay? Not Imogen or Eli, and definitely not your mom or anyone else. If all of this is real, if you're actually a werewolf, then why are you trusting me with this?" "Why me?" "You know about him, don't you?" I swallow. "What? You went to the academy. You're trying to piece it all together. What is it that gave hints away? Did you see him? Did you hear something?" "See who, Vivian? Who's he?" "Just tell me what triggered your snooping." Crossing my arms, I hold my breath. "I guess I went to the academy because of the shirt that was in my room. I started working at the diner because I know you guys are keeping secrets about your friends or the academy. I thought it was drugs, but it's this, right? The secret is that you all do this. Shift into wolves." Vivian moves closer. "There was a shirt in your room?" Under the bed, a men's large, from the academy. Her eyes glimmer a little as the corner of her lips twitch upward. And did it smell? Smell nice? Good? At all? I press my lips together. It did, didn't it? She asks. I knew it. Do you know about the dark thing then? The only thing that makes any sense is that the thing is like one of you. Is it Imogen or Eli? Vivian blinks. What dark thing? What are you talking about? There's a thing watching me, stalking me. It's a giant beast thing, but now that I've seen you, maybe it's a wolf. It's not brown though, it's black, really dark. It has yellow eyes. It's in my dreams too. I thought it was my mind playing games with me, but it's one of you, right? Imogen has black hair. Is it her? Vivian's eyes widen before she suddenly covers her mouth with her hand. I knew it, she says, muffled. She even jumps up and down, laughing. Is it her then? Have you guys been stalking me? Why? Vivian shakes her head. It's not Imogen. It's him. Will you just tell me, Vivian, I press. What's going on? Why is he watching me? Do you know him? Does he want to hurt me? She stops and thinks for a moment. Vivian? Her green eyes look straight into mine. Oh, I am so going to be screwing myself over here. She couldn't tell me. Vivian couldn't tell me who he is, not yet, anyway. It's like finding out I'm going to die tomorrow, but unaware of how and when. Walking home from school was a nightmare, the anxiety weighing on me, the fear of seeing his eyes in the brush. That's all I know about the dark thing now, that it is not a thing, but a he. Was the Waindale Academy shirt his? Why is he watching me? Does he want to hurt me? Do I know him? How long has he been here? None of these questions have been answered. I've only been given the unimportant, meaningless knowledge that it is a he, and I suppose that he is a werewolf like Vivian and Imogen and Eli. It makes me wonder about Alara, though. What is she? What is any of this? Wrenley? Looking up from my plate, I'm faced with my mother and grandma. Aren't you hungry, dear? I glance back to my untouched food. Yeah, sorry. Just have a lot going on at school, that's all. They watch as I fork some potatoes into my mouth, watch as I chew with no appetite at all. All right. Well, are things getting better with your friends? Have you met anyone new? My mom asks. Actually, Vivian and I are talking again. She's including me more, so I think I'm getting over what they did. Oh, that's good. Maybe I can invite Tally's family over for dinner one night then. What do you think, Mom? Grandma nods. Yeah, of course. It would be nice to see her again. After dinner, I finish homework and take a shower. With a towel wrapped around my body and my wet hair sticking to my skin, I take a moment, looking in the mirror. For the past few days, ever since Vivian revealed her secret and showed me that fantasies are real, I've been trying to cope with it all. It's hard to comprehend that people can shift into giant wolves. Are vampires real? What about witches? When I was young, I wished and wished that I would meet a fairy. I dress in my bedroom after finishing up in the bathroom. My curtains are open, and I immediately think about those yellow eyes. I walk over to close them, but wonder if he's out there right now. There's a feeling in my core, a feeling that just knows he is. My eyes scan the tree line. When my mom and grandma have gone to bed, I yank on my jeans and cover up with my hoodie. The pull in my chest is too strong to ignore, so I slip out the front door and wander toward the pine trees. Crickets sing in the background as I enter the forest. The fear that I felt days ago, the fear I had towards this person, has withered away and has been replaced with curiosity. A gentle breeze flows high up in the branches of the trees, bringing a calming sound to my ears, making the darkness not so dark. The pulling in my chest grows stronger, and suddenly, I know he's here. I suck in a sharp breath when I turn. The large black wolf with those electric yellow eyes is stood there, unwavering. It's big, bigger than I thought, bigger than Vivian. Its eyes don't leave me, not for a second. I breathe out and see my breath smoke into the crisp night air. This is a delicate situation, one I could never be prepared for, but the scent of this wolf and the warmth in my heart takes my worries away. Everything is foreign to me. I feel like a child. There's so much I don't understand yet. I step forward, and the wolf moves. Who are you? I ask, my voice soft. The wolf turns and walks. Wait, it stops, looks back at me, then runs off into the trees and the brush until I can't see it anymore. My eyes are glassy, wet, and confused. I didn't want it to go, and I don't know why. It has a hold on me. Back in the house, I eat. My stomach makes noises that are of a natural disaster, and I eat until I've filled up all that has been emptied. Afterward, I go to bed. I sleep deeply and right through my alarm. My mother's hand wakes me as she resorts to shaking. My eyes open. My God, Wren, I thought you were dead. I spot Vivian at school. I push through the few students in my way and latch onto her. It's been 3 days since I've last seen her, since she revealed herself. She turns swiftly and relaxes at the sight of me. Oh, Wrenley. I did, she says. I talked to people, and I was right. I got myself in a lot of trouble. Is that why you've been gone? Did they do something to you? Vivian crosses her arms. Look, the bad news is that I have to keep my mouth shut from now on. I could have been rejected from the pack. I could be a rogue right now, but my friends defended me. I'm sorry, Wrenley. It's just not my place. Then whose place is it? I ask with more desperation than I would like. She takes a long breath. His. So you can't tell me who he is. She shakes her head and I say, I saw him last night, in the forest. Saw him? I had this feeling in my gut, so I went out into the trees and he was there. A giant black wolf, the yellow eyes, everything. I tried to ask him who he was, and he ran off. Vivian nods and paces a little. I mean, if I can't tell you if no one can, then you'll have to figure it out yourself. You're going to have to try and get through to him. A girl passes and we wait for her to walk far enough. Get through to a wolf. He's not just a wolf, Wrenley. That's just his shifted form. Most of the time he's human like us, and he's going to be. Vivian stops herself. Just try again, okay? What if he doesn't come back? Trust me, he will. Part of me wants to find him. I don't want to face a frightening wolf. I want to face a human. If I'm right, he goes to the academy, but Vivian makes it sound like that isn't an option. Last time I was there, I got kicked out, and I don't even have the shirt anymore. I'm glad it's gone, though. And it felt weird to have some guy's shirt under my pillow. I walked to the beach after school, not having a shift at the diner today. The dirt path that I followed my second day here is the one I take, but there are no worries in my head about seeing something. I feel like I've seen everything at this point. 2 huge werewolves, what else can scare me in these woods? The water is gloomy. It rises up on those many little pebbles and drains back down. I stand at the waterline with my hands warm in my jacket. My eyes watch the rising and falling again and again until the distance calls to me. There's nothing. Just inky water that looks unforgiving. My eyes trail along the horizon until they reach the cliffs, green and jagged. The needle-like rocks below stop anyone from cliff jumping. Waves crash up against the base like it's slowly wasting the mountains away. Slowly. I gaze up to the top where monstrous trees stare out at the ocean. One day I want to hike up there and stand at the end and look out as they do. As I climb back up to the road, the rocks and pebbles beneath me give way. I collapse onto my hands and knees, feeling my palms scream. My jeans protect my knees, but when I look at my hands, tiny little scrapes flush red until blood dots out. I pick the rocks from my skin and avoid rubbing my hands on anything until I get home. Grandma helps me clean up and sprays the terrible, stinging antibacterial spray. My face scrunches up as she does so. Just like when you were young, she says, amused. Do you remember when you fell off the clothesline? Yeah, I do. I stayed off it, didn't I? Nothing works like a little pain, dear. When I sneak out into the forest tonight, he isn't there. I can feel it. There's an absence of something inside of me. Not wanting to give up, I wait for an hour, then ultimately decide that it's far too cold for this. My butt has started to ache from the boulder and is missing the comfort of my bed. Knowing how well I slept last night, I'm eager to get into bed. It's anticlimactic, though. I lay there for a few hours until my mind finally shuts off. Saturday, I have a shift at the diner. Laura welcomes me in and says that I'm looking better. An hour or 2 into serving, the door chimes and in walks Vivian and her friends. She waves to me. They gather at a booth and I quickly bring them menus. Hey guys, I say, surprised. Alara and Eli are on one side while Vivian and Imogen are on the other. We know that you know, Imogen says. Even though we didn't decide to tell you, it's about time, I guess. Vivian gives a guilty smile. At least we don't have to keep secrets anymore. Well, that many secrets. Does she know about... Alara starts. Vivian interrupts. No, but she'll get there. Did you see him last night? What? I shake my head. No, I went out, but he wasn't there. That's okay. Maybe tonight then. I set down the menus, discouraged. I mean, am I supposed to keep doing this every night? What if I don't want to? Why can't you guys just tell me what the big deal with this guy is? We aren't allowed, Eli says. Because of what? Imogen looks me in my eyes. Because he said so. So what? You guys just let him push you around. Vivian can't help but laugh a little. We don't really have a choice, Wrenley. That's ridiculous. Maybe I don't want to figure it out then. Why would I want to know someone like that? Trust me, Imogen says. We wish we could just say it. I wait impatiently in the forest again, hugging myself in the cold and minutes away from kicking a rock. This is ridiculous. For some reason, I have to face this guy, and no one can just tell me what's going on because he wants to make it even more difficult. If my mom or grandma woke up, they'd think I've been kidnapped. The police may as well be out searching for me with flashlights and dogs. Tired of sitting, I get up from the boulder and walk around. The night is still and nearly lifeless. Hardly any crickets are chirping, and the only sounds I have to comfort me are the breeze and the ocean in the distance. Ignoring the sudden crack or rustle is getting harder. He hasn't been back since I tried to talk to him that first night, approximately 3 nights ago. At this point, I'm exhausted, grubby, frustrated. The list goes on and on. After another few minutes of waiting, I trudge home and crash into bed. But of course, I can't fall asleep. I never can. At school the next day, I approach Vivian with bags under my eyes that are big enough to carry her books. She looks over me and asks if I'm okay. No, I'm really not. I don't care about whoever this guy is. He isn't watching me anymore, so I don't see a reason to wait out there for him in the cold. You can tell me or not, either way, I don't care. Before I can stomp off, she grabs me. I don't know why he has to be so difficult, she mutters. Maybe if you... Does he go to the academy? I ask, catching her off guard. Wrenley, Does he go there? Just tell me. Vivian gives me a regretful face. You can't go there. I really mean it. You weren't supposed to find out about that. It was his fault for leaving the shirt behind, but if you want to make things easy... I don't care about easy. What I've been doing certainly isn't easy. Finding out all of this isn't easy. Having to figure things out on my own isn't easy. I'm tired of waiting around like an idiot for him to come to me. I'm going to him. Her grip tightens. No, Wrenley, it will only make things worse. We're supposed to watch over you. Make sure you don't do stuff like that. Watch over me? I question. Since when? The beginning? Is that why you reached out to me? Is that why you needed to be my friend? Jesus, Vivian, what's going on? Vivian sighs and lets go. She runs her hands through her hair, nearly pulling. Okay. Fine, I'll try to talk to him. I doubt he'll listen to me after I revealed what we are to you, but I'll try, okay? I'm still so confused. Instead of things clearing up, it's just getting more twisted and tangled. Finding him at the academy seems like such a quick solution, but this is a tower of cards I'm treading around. One gentle blow and who knows what will rain down upon me. As Vivian talks, I pick up new information here and there. A pack, something about rogues. I'll keep gathering clues. That's all I can do, really. I simply wait for hints to be dropped and wait for him to appear. If I can't go to him, how can I bring him to me? What can I do to reel this thing in? That night, I sneak out of the house yet again. The majority of his appearances happen at night, so it only makes sense. I bury myself in the trees, my jaw clenched and fists curled with determination. The light from Grandma's porch vanishes, and I know I am far enough, after a few minutes of standing, just as one of the poised and unflustered pines, the familiar feeling blooms in my gut. My eyes spring from rock to trunk to rotting log. I'll tell them, I say softly. The night whispers back to me. I'll tell everyone. Something dark skulks between the trees behind the brush. I stare, waiting to see those yellow eyes beam back at me. I'll tell them what you are, what Vivian is, what Imogen and Eli are. Footsteps sound from behind and I swiftly turn. I suck in a breath as the beast shows itself, steadily emerging from the shadows. The scent of him caresses me. I watch until the wolf stops moving closer. When I take a step, not satisfied, its head bows. Before it dashes off, having changed its mind, I continue on slowly and reach my hand out. It could very well bite it clean off if it so desires, but its eyes stay aimed at the ground. I eagerly run my hand over its thick fur. dense and smooth, I feel again. My hand tingles slightly as an internal warmth ignites. Under my skin, something unnatural makes my eyes wet. I pull back and nurse my hand against my chest. The wolf looks to me, its mouth full of teeth inches away. "Who are you?" I ask, then realize that he can't speak. "Why don't you change? I mean, into your human form." He doesn't seem to like that. The wolf takes a few steps past me. "Wait, don't go," I say, breathless. "Vivian tells me to wait for you, but I don't know how much longer I can wait for. I want to know what's going on, and apparently you're the only one that can tell me, so please just, why were you watching me?" Its eyes don't leave me. "I can't go to the academy because you're there. Why can't I see you as a person? Why only like this? Do I know you? Is that it? Are you my father?" The wolf makes a low, guttural noise and moves its head to the side, as if saying no. "Who then? Are you connected to me in some way?" It looks back at me. Without a doubt, that means yes. Before I can ask something else, the wolf walks off. As I hurry to follow it, its head snaps back at me and it flashes its teeth. Taken back, I halt. "Please," I murmur. It leaves me. I stand alone in the forest once again. At home, the inhuman warmth and comfort that flowed through me leaves as well. When morning comes, all that helped me fall asleep, all that made me feel human again, has disappeared. It's as if whenever I see him, I'm fueled for only a short period of time. I talk with Grandma, say bye to my mom, walk to school, but fail to find Vivian. My excitement to update her about my small breakthrough dies off after lunch. I couldn't find Imogen or Eli or even Alara. It's as if everyone has taken the day off. Instead of returning home after school, I make my way into what I assume to be the center of town. Just on the water, small shops and restaurants welcome me in. I suppose this is where everyone in town vanishes to. I see the houses and the cars, but never the people. Not until now, anyway. A vintage ice cream parlor catches my attention. I walk by and peer through the window, seeing a young family as they pick out flavors. Beside the parlor is a Native American shop of spiritual paintings and carvings. In the window is a carving of a wolf, and I can't help but smile. A girl and boy walk past me, and their academy uniforms glisten in the sun like lost treasure. Immediately intrigued, I subtly stalk them. I follow as they walk past the stores onto the old pier and to the railing. The pair look over at the water and talk. I stay a few paces behind and hide around a light post. "I don't think he wants it, not really," the girl says. "No, trust me, he does." "Well, then he doesn't make it seem like he does." The boy shrugs and turns around, leaning back on the railing. I panic and try to hide myself more. When was he ever the kind of guy to show how he's feeling? It's just, I don't know if he'll make a good alpha, that's all. The boy laughs. "That's just because you're mad he's not your mate. You're mad that you don't get to be Luna." "Shut up! You're so full of shit." Either way, he's going to be alpha whether you're Luna or not, and if I've heard right, it's going to be soon. How are we supposed to take him seriously when he's disappearing all the time now? Where is he even going? I don't trust him. "Just don't let him hear you say that," he boy says. My chest tightens as I quietly blend into the background. Once far enough, my mind is cluttered with thoughts and questions and a need to research. Alpha? Luna? That must be like pack and rogue, a pack of wolves that I understand. An alpha must be the alpha of the pack, but I've never heard the term Luna. I thought that was just a girl's name. Maybe I should ask Vivian, but I don't know where to find her. Maybe if I just type things into my computer, something will come up. Are those students werewolves too? Are all students at the academy werewolves? One thing at a time, Wren. One thing at a time. "Vivian!" I call, catching a glimpse of her down the hall. I race through students as they herd into the cafeteria. Her red hair bobs through the door and disappears as I slip past bodies. Once inside, I hurriedly make my way to their table, surprised to see everyone there. They look my way and I stand before them, my chest moving rapidly up. "Wrenley," Vivian says brightly, "come on, sit down." I place my bag on the table and take a seat beside her while eyeing the group. Imogen looks unbothered as usual. Eli and Alara are close, and Vivian is looking excitedly at me. There's some stuff I want to ask you about," I say, catching Imogen's attention as well. "Really? Did something happen?" "Well, I saw these two students from the academy," I start, "and I overheard them talking about an Alpha and Luna. Does that have to do with you guys?" I'm assuming it's a wolf thing. I lower my voice. Vivian looks to Imogen, then back at me. Oh, yeah, it is. Did you hear anything else? Anything about an alpha or Luna? I shake my head. I just thought you could explain it to me. Well, an alpha is the leader of the pack, right? And the Luna is like the queen to his king. It's really not so complicated. Are you all in a pack, then? Vivian nods. There's only one pack in Waindale. Do all the academy students belong to the pack that you belong to? Is there going to be a new alpha? What's a rogue? And can anyone be an alpha or Luna? Are one of you guys? Imogen chuckles. Someone's putting the pieces together. Wow, a lot of questions. Vivian smiles nervously. Not all academy students are werewolves. There is going to be a new alpha. Only someone of alpha blood can be an alpha, which none of us are. Oh, and a rogue is a wolf that doesn't belong to a pack. Giving it all away, aren't we? Eli comments. Vivian rolls her eyes. None of this matters, Wrenley, unless you get through to him. None of it matters? Why? I didn't think there was so much to learn, but it's all very interesting, intriguing. Who has alpha blood? Is it like a chosen one kind of thing? Enough questions for today, she says briskly. Just keep trying to communicate with him. Vivian's urge for me to get through to this guy is starting to get on my nerves. There is obviously something going on with him, but I'd love to learn more about their kind and how they work. An entire myth has been brought to life in front of me, yet all I'm allowed to do is wait for the silent wolf to speak. I follow the needle-ridden path up the mountain after school. It had been raining all throughout the school day and is just clearing up now. The air is heavy and smells of wet moss. Unlike the paths I've taken, the underbrush is much more fierce, reaching out onto the trail and ready to trip me. Not many people take this path, I suppose. It's overgrown, covered in fallen leaves, and hidden away in the shadows. The climb alone is enough to make my head spin. After half an hour of hiking, the ground begins to level out, and the horizon is visible through the trees. I can nearly hear the waves as they crash against the jagged rocks all the way at the cliff's base. The towering pine trees thin out as I near the edge. Within a few more steps, I'm peering over into the dreary blue beneath me. I hold my breath as I look over. My heart sinks. The wind is unforgiving. Something is behind me, and I release it all as I sit down. The ground is rough. I shrug my bag from my shoulder and stretch. Although the wind is powerful up here, it doesn't stop his scent from drifting to me. I can feel him, his presence, but I don't want to turn. It's easier if I can't see him. Shift, I call out. Shift into a human. My hair brushes against my face as I nearly look back. From the corner of my eye, I can see his black fur. Why won't you do it? I ask, again fighting the need to look. Is there something I have to do first? Have I done something wrong? I don't understand. A part of me thinks that at any second I'll be sent flying off the mountain. One push, and this beast can send me plummeting to my death. I peek again, only black fur and nothing human-like. But this time I can't help it. I scramble to my feet and face him with impatience. So much impatience and yearning that throwing a fit seems like the only answer. As I try to bottle up my frustrations, the wolf watches me. Always watching me. Just shift. My God, I can't do this anymore. Every night going into the forest, waiting to see if you'll show up, never getting anything from you. Christ, I don't even know who you are. The only reason I'm here is because of Vivian. The wolf makes a low growl. Shift or leave. Shift or leave me alone from now on because I'm not waiting anymore. The thing turns to leave. Feeling out of control, I shout, no. What are you getting out of this? Please, if you would become a human, you could actually respond. It doesn't move closer or face me any more than it is, but the wolf doesn't step any further either. Fine, maybe you'll never answer, but I won't stop asking. I won't stop asking why there's always a scent in the air when you're around. I'm smart enough to know that wolves don't smell like this, or why you come to me at all. I won't stop asking who you are either. It's not fair because something inside of me wants you to be around, and I don't know why. Whenever you're here, my body feels different, and I'm not hurting anymore. After I see you, I can sleep and I can eat, and I don't feel this oncoming dread. I don't think I'll ever stop wondering why. There's a human side of you, and sometimes all I want is to see it, to hear you talk, to hear you say anything, really. Just shift, please. If you just shift, we could. The wolf turns away and heads for the trees. Words of desperation escape my lips before I hurry after it. Thrashing through the brush, I frantically look for the animal. Like a blur, a dark, cruel blur, the beast runs into oblivion. I stand alone on the cliff, in the trees, exposed and furious. Dark thoughts consume my mind, thoughts of betrayal and carelessness and selfishness. Something inside of me broke. My last bit of restraint has been all used up, and there's none left to stop me from storming that damn academy. There's a sense of finality. No more waiting, no more walking around on eggshells. This need inside of me doesn't care about my promise to Vivian. It doesn't care about friendships or trustworthiness. There is one goal on my mind. I must find him at the academy as soon as possible. I gave him plenty of opportunities, and now it's time for me to get what I deserve. Truth. The next day I sit throughout my classes, still knowing that once that last bell rings, I will finally put an end to this. At lunch, I avoid Vivian and her friends. It's helpful to shove in earphones and keep my head busy. If the music is just loud enough, I can't think about backing out. I keep my earphones in as I walk out of the school and up the road. It serves well as a pep talk as long as the right stuff keeps playing. Soon enough, Waindale Academy comes into view and my heart bounces around in my chest, restless and wired. I stare at the brick building. A hurricane of emotion is brewing inside of me and is ready to rain havoc upon Waindale. I power through the parking lot, undisguised, like a sunflower in a field of poppies. Many students glance my way and stare as I climb the steps and push through the heavy doors that were once slammed in my face. My feet seem to grow heavier the closer I get. Inside this dim hallway is a trace of the scent, his scent. There's something so distinct and unforgiving about it. I could follow it with a blindfold on and avoid all obstacles. My eyes spring from one academy student to the next, anxious that someone is going to drag me out again. With my arms crossed, I follow the scent down the left hallway and face many doors. The sound of echoing voices comes from all directions and makes me feel as if this is a nightmare. The echoes of my own footsteps send a chill up my spine. The only thing keeping me from dashing out like a frightened cat is the fact that the scent is growing stronger. It leads me to the end of the hall where I am faced with another decision. Left or right? Right, this time. I notice my pace speeding up. When the scent is almost as it is when I'm with him, I find myself practically running. Then there's a door. The one he's behind. I'm sure of it. My hand shakes relentlessly as I reach for the handle. Unexpectedly, my mind wipes clean. It's all too much. I can't think of anything at all as I press down and push the door open. People are inside. He's inside. I know it, I can feel it, but it's hard to move. They're silent, waiting for me to enter. I swallow my worries and take the steps that must be taken. My eyes dance around him, looking at anything but the group of people. It's a classroom, a nice and neat one with windows and desks and chairs, and this is torture. A wave of liveliness washes over me and my worries clog my throat. I'm caught between strange feelings of passion and comfort and those of fear and angst. It feels like it's going to rip me in two. My lips part when I spontaneously decide to look. It's not hard to look. That's the easy part. Comprehending what I am looking at is where it all makes my head hurt. I haven't considered much to be perfect, or maybe I haven't thought enough about what is exactly perfect to me. But he is perfect. He's perfect in both his world and mine and any other that may be out there. He, no longer an it or beast or thing, is sat in front of me, looking back at me as a being of perfection, and is making me feel inadequate. Only one thing connects him to the wolf that I know, and that is the dark hair. There are no yellow eyes or monstrous teeth. He has a beautiful face, angular and brooding. I can't stop looking at it. The two guys beside him stand. "Are you satisfied?" he asks. They walk toward me, and I know their job is to throw me out. I am too infatuated to care, though. The sound of his voice, I have to blink to stop my eyes from watering. It seems to be something I'll never understand as a human. His being, the perfection, is forever a mystery to my kind. As the guys gently touch me and lead me to the door, he says, "Leave her. Forget it." I watch them walk around me and out the door. Their obedience has me curious. Sunlight filters through the windows, seeping through the thinning clouds and resting on his face. Would it be silly to say that he sparkles in the sunlight? Or is my head caught up in fictional fantasies and not this real one? Either way, unearthly or not, he looks at me, waits for me to speak, but nothing leaves my lips. "You're not allowed here, Wrenley," he says. My stomach wobbles inside of me. How does he know my name? How much did Vivian tell you? Do you know what is happening here? His voice makes me giddy. There is no way that he is also that scary, rude, stubborn, supersized beast. I murmur, "Why do I feel this way? I don't. What are you?" He stands from the desk he was leaning against. This must be the one thing she's left out. "Tell me, what do you know, Wrenley?" Every time he says my name, my heart squeezes. It's all too much. I watch as he drifts closer, trying to turn off the questionable thoughts in my head. A whiteboard is mounted behind me, and I settle against it. I wonder if any teacher has ever written on it, or if this is all just a facade. What do I know? I know about your kind a little. I know that there's a pack in Waindale, and that wolves who don't belong to a pack are rogue. Vivian said an alpha rules the pack. I don't get it, though. Why this concerns me. His eyes gaze down at me. You're aware of the scent, aren't you? You told me that something inside of you wants me to be around, that your body feels different in my presence. That was before, I mutter, feeling my face heat up. Just why? What don't I know? Doesn't everyone feel that way? No, Wrenley, only you feel that way around me. I peer up at him. Why? Because we're connected, as you said. Connected? I repeat. How are we connected? I don't know you, not really. He stands in front of me and my blush intensifies. I've never been this type of girl. Guys don't affect me this way. Back home, I couldn't care less about dating and flirting and chasing and all those ridiculous things. Why am I such a blushing idiot now? I have seen beautiful people before. I know they exist. But for some reason, when it comes to him, I have no recollection of such things. Are you sure you want to know? He asks seriously and not teasingly. Is it really that bad? Some people think so. He holds out his hand and tells me with his eyes to place mine on top. Go on, he says. I lift my hand and steadily place it down on his bigger one. Instead of an electric shock, a bizarre good feeling makes me pull back. It's hard to admit that pleasure can come from such a small act. The sensation reminds me of when I felt his fur, only more severe. I release a shaky breath. Why did... You're my mate, he says bluntly. Mate? We're mated. You and I have been bonded to one another. My lips part. No words come out except an unsure noise. Why? What does it mean to be mated? Every one of our kind is given a mate. A mate is, to put it lightly, like a life partner. But I'm not one of you. I'm human. He nods. I know. It's an unusual situation. My mind runs 1,000,000 miles per second, gluing everything together. Smite, that's why you were always there. That's why Vivian and Imogen, that's why they were supposed to look over me. I've been brought into all of this because you've mated with me. I didn't mate with you, Wrenley, he says clearly. This is just the way things are. I had no influence over it, just as you had none. Well, how do we fix it then? I suppose that's what you want to do, right? How do we unmate each other? His dark eyes fall to the side for a moment. It's a complicated situation that you don't fully understand. We can't unmate. There are ways of wearing down the bond. There's rejection, but what? He steps back as his perfect face is overtaken by conflict. This is why I needed you wait. I needed distance so I could decide what the best approach to this situation is. Why can't a decision be made now? You've made it even more difficult than it was before. I didn't mean... His eyes find mine again and my chest tightens. You aren't doing it on purpose. You can't help it. Well, if you wanted distance, then you shouldn't have come to me. All you are feeling is mutual. I couldn't help but succumb to you. Hearing someone like him say such words has me flustered. I look to the floor and think about what to say next. These feelings of anxiety remind me of when I was younger. I would get butterflies in my stomach when talking to older people or those with authority. When I was 12, I also felt this way around Gavin Castor, who was a boy in the grade above me, who I had an undeniable crush on. Such aches and struggles haven't happened in so long that it's bringing me back into the hurricane that is early adolescence. This is all a lot to take in, I think out loud. I wasn't expecting something like this. I mean, I don't know you and suddenly we're bonded in some strange werewolf mate thing. It doesn't even make sense as to why we're mates because, 1, I'm human, and 2, you You're like you and I'm not like. I gesture down his body. He looks at me for a few seconds in silence. Even just a look causes a reaction in me. I'm fighting with my body, trying to gain control of my wants and needs because suddenly I can't tell the difference between them anymore. Pushing off the wall, I move past him and stare at the ceiling for clarity. What do mates do? I ask, throwing caution to the wind. What's the purpose of being bonded to someone without any say? Turning back, I'm met with his straight face. He said all I'm feeling is mutual. Is he also wrestling with these terrible thoughts? I'm not sure where this is all coming from because confronting him in his other form had no such side effects. You know what? Forget it. There's a lot you're unaware of. I understand. Maybe it's best that Vivian answers your questions, he says. I feel like I'm just embarrassing myself. A part of me is determined to impress him, and every time I say the wrong thing, that part of me lashes back. What do we do now? He takes a breath. I need some time? You can try to go back to the way things were before all of this. Vivian and the rest of them will be around to help you in whatever way you need. I'll find you when I've decided on the best way to handle things. I nod and say, okay. A second has passed and it is already easier said than done. Returning to a mindset that existed before meeting him seems impossible. I should get home anyway. I look to the ground and head for the door, but before I pass through, I turn back one more time and say, we're mated, but I don't even know your name. He glances at me and my body tenses for the last time. His handsome eyes capture mine as he simply says, Adam. My chest fills with air, and I force myself out the door. My arms wrap around my body and hold me as I hurry down the hall. I wish I never came here. I wish I never marched into this school like I knew what was going to happen because I had no clue. I was caught up in an unspoken infatuation and have only made it worse. Adam, that's who he is. I'm bonded to Adam, and leaving him with this uncertainty of what's to come makes my heart tremble. I don't want to leave. I want to stay with him. My deepest thoughts and desires want to stay forever. I find Vivian the next day at school. Her face sparks like it always does. I met him, I say. I met Adam. The spark fades quickly. Vivian leads me to a quiet place and doesn't let go of my hand. Last night I thought about what I was going to say to her, but I can't remember anymore. My head is focused on one thing right now. So you know then. We're mates. We're bonded to one another. She urges me on. And? What did he say? How was he? I don't know what's going to happen. Don't worry about him becoming alpha, Wrenley. I know it makes things complicated, and there'd be a lot of speculation about your relationship, but I truly believe that you two can make it work. Don't you? I mean, I'm kinda assuming that things mostly went well, but I blink once, twice. He's becoming an alpha? Her grip on my hand tightens. Yeah, of course. He said that, right? No, he didn't. He didn't tell me. Not another word is spoken. Vivian and I sit in the stagnant silence as my mind goes into overdrive and as she tries to determine what I'm thinking about. The bell rings, but we stay still. Words are on the tip of my tongue, but they won't come out. Adam was right. It is more complicated than I thought. Wren. I look to my mother as she's cozy on the patio furniture. Her laptop sat in front of her, ready to make literary magic. I shrug my school bag higher on my shoulder. Off to school? She asks after sipping her coffee. Did you get breakfast? Yeah. Grandma made French toast. My mom sits up. Well, maybe I should go in and grab some before she cleans up. You don't want me to drive you, right? I shake my head. Just that one time. I'm fully capable now. I should get going. All right. Oh, before you go, when are you working this week? I wanted to ask Tali's family over for dinner. Today, tomorrow, and Saturday afternoon. Got it. I'll give her a call later today. I wave, then make my way down the porch steps and to the sidewalk. School is the very last place I want to be, but since I already missed a day, it's best that I put up with it. I'd rather be hidden under my covers with my headphones on. Lately, the only thing that makes my head feel less jumbled is drowning out the noise with, well, louder noises. After last week and all that happened, my life has been turned on its head. Knowing that werewolves exist has brought a new outlook on life and the world, but being dragged into the confusion because of some beastly bond, there's no way to explain how I'm feeling. Adam's explanation only left me with more questions. Vivian is there to answer them, but I'm not sure if I want to ask. At this point, more knowledge could lead to more problems. If I never went snooping in the first place, who knows how much easier life would be. If I never came to Waindale, my head would be functioning just fine. At lunchtime, I take my seat at Vivian's table. The group is finally making me feel like a true member, but it doesn't feel worth it anymore. All I wanted at the beginning of this was to be included. Little did I know what inclusion really required. Hey, Wrenley. I glance up and watch as Alara settles down across the table. I smile and sit with my hands squeezing one another in my lap. Hi, I chirp. We've never been alone together before. I'm not sure what to say. How's your day going? Oh, it's fine. Eli isn't here. Actually, I don't think any of them are. Is it because of... Probably, she says. After a while, you'll get used to sudden disappearances. I'm sure it's because of all that's happening. Him becoming you-know-what. Right. That's fine. So, she starts, a little unsure. Is it weird being bonded to the new you-know-what? I mean, it must be overwhelming to not only find out about what they are, but also that you have a mate. It's insane that he's also the... It's a lot, yeah. I'm still trying to figure it all out. I'm sure you know what it's like, though. I'm assuming that you're a human, right? She nods. Yeah, kind of. Are you and Eli? Do you guys have the connection? Are you two bonded like I am to Adam? Alara's face falls. She lets out a soft breath and tucks her hair behind her ear. No, she says simply. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make things weird or anything. Eli and I aren't mates. We're just together for now, I guess. For now? Well, until he finds his mate, Alara clarifies with pain in her expression. She quickly wipes it away. It's complicated, like, I'm actually a little jealous of you. Jealous of me? You get to have that rare situation where you're a human mated to one of them. I wish I could be mated to Eli. Once he finds his mate, he won't care much about me anymore. I swallow. The connection really does that? You've experienced it, Wrenley. You'd have to tell me. That's just what I've been told. Right, it's intense, I guess. I just can't believe that Eli could forget about you. I'm sure that's not true. I'm enjoying him while he's mine. That's all I can do. You should enjoy your bond. You're lucky to have it. Heat spreads from my neck to my cheeks. Enjoy it? I don't even know the guy. I just met him for the first time last week. Met him in his normal form, I mean. I'm sure you'll grow close. You won't be able to help it. Vivian told me that. I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to be forced into something while the other part could care less. I feel so torn. Sure, Adam is really something, but knowing that we're meant to be together like that is weird. It makes things awkward. I don't know how to approach him or talk to him or anything. Alara watches me with a glimmer in her eye. I'm sure it's uncomfortable at first, but don't you feel special? You get to experience this supernatural bond with something you didn't think existed. If I were you, I'd feel like the luckiest girl on earth. Should I tell her that we likely won't be together? When I left Adam that day, it sure sounded like he was going to find a way to fix things, meaning cut the tie. It's for the best, I suppose. I'm a human. I have no place in their world, especially not as an Alpha's Luna. The feelings I already have toward him frighten me, so keeping our distance and avoiding the bond seems like a sturdy plan until he makes a decision. I wish I asked what the options were. I'm guessing which way to unmate each other. The diner is slow today. I hang out behind the counter as my thoughts take me into oblivion. While playing with a stir stick, drawing invisible pictures on the counter, Laura comes up behind me. She places a coffee down and slides it over. Here, she says. Looks like you need it. I glance to her and smile. Thanks. What is it? Schoolwork? The family? Some of everything. I murmur and take a sip. Need to take the day off tomorrow. Catch up on sleep? I shake my head. I'll be fine. Laura nods and tends to an elderly couple, the same elderly couple that comes in nearly every day. Whenever Laura waits on them, there's a sense of familiarity. I suppose after all their time spent here, they've grown close to the staff. I watch as she chats with them. I wonder if they've lived in Waindale their entire lives, growing old in such a magical place. Do they know about the wolves? Maybe they have their suspicions. After dinner, I finish homework, then get ready for bed. Coming into my bedroom from the bathroom, I tie my hair back and glance out the window. It's pitch black out there as usual. These past few days, I can't help but check, just to make sure he's not there. Every time I can't help but wish he would be. Is it sad for me to sit at my window and wait for someone who may never come? Adam said that he can't help but succumb to me, so if I run into the woods and call his name, will he show up? It's desperate to consider such a thing. What if he's busy becoming an alpha? What if he doesn't want to see me? I reluctantly close my curtains and climb into bed. Tonight I find myself at the academy, wandering through empty hallways in search of him. I wander the halls until morning, never finding him or anyone, feeling abandoned and so very alone. When I wake in my bed, I feel tears trail down the sides of my face and into my hair. My chest is heavy and my limbs unmoving. Sunlight trickles through my curtains and I feel an urge to open them and bathe my room in its cheerfulness. I teeter on my feet and fall toward the window like a baby learning to walk. My hands grip the fabric and tug. Light shocks my eyes but wipes away the lurking sorrow from the room. I face the now bright space and take a breath. It was just a dream, Wrenley. It was just a stupid dream. My mom and grandma are sat at the table when I enter the kitchen. They look to me and motion for me to sit down. I take the spot beside Grandma, across from my mom and her coffee and her laptop. Tali's family is coming for dinner Saturday, she tells me. I can't wait to see her again, see her family. It'll be nice to know people in this town. You would meet people if you got off that porch, Grandma says. I'm going to the store today. Come with me. We can walk along the water. They have little shops and we can get lunch. My mom nods in agreement while taking a gulp from her mug. She then turns to me. Work today, right? Yeah, 3 till 6. You still tired, dear? Grandma asks. Maybe I should take you to a doctor, Wren. These sleeping problems are starting to worry me. I shake my head. It's fine, really. There's a small clinic in town that I go to. Other than that, there's the hospital. You know, the one that feeds into Benton, Cold Grove. It's a good place, I think. We can go to the clinic, see what they say. If that doesn't work, we can go to the hospital, I suppose. I don't need a hospital, Mom. I just have a hard time sleeping. It's not that big of a deal. I have to get ready for school. What about breakfast? Grandma asks. Up from the table and heading for my room, I call back that I can eat something on the way. I have to see Adam. We have to unmate each other before my mom drags me to a doctor. The thought of unmating makes me sick. But it can't be any worse than the repercussions I'm feeling now. I quickly get dressed, then step into my shoes. Grandma hands me a smoothie on my way out, making me feel guilty for being in a bad mood. All they want to do is help me, but I'm too busy being a grumpy jerk to say thank you. Today I'll find him, one way or another.